Hello, good morning. So today we have rapid revision. It is 4 a.m. in the morning. So we have rapid revision about brain metastasis. So what you understand from brain metastasis? Metastasis is meaning that stasis itself is like migration. Okay, migration. So brain metastasis mean that cancerous cells migrate to the brain for the primary source. Which is the primary source either from the body, other part of body organs. So the one of the most common of metastasis is the brain tumor. So brain metastasis occur in the cancer patient in adult. So brain metastasis happen 50 to 30% in adult cancer patient, but only 6% in pediatric cancers. So 70% of the cases will be multiple on MRI at the time of onset of symptom, neurologic symptoms, and 50% in the CT scan. But the most common cancer responsible for the brain met is lung cancer and breast cancer. And other than that is neuroblastoma, rhabdomyosarcoma, Williams tumor, source of brain mets in pigs. But the most common in the adult is lung cancer and breast cancer. So the location of the cerebral metastasis is 70% of the intracranial metastasis involved at the parenchyma tissue. So the highest incidence of parenchyma metastasis is posterior to the Savian fissure near at the junction of the temporal, parietal and occipital lobes. So the cerebellum is a common site of intracranial metastasis, and many tend to arise at the gray and white matter interface. Alright. So what is symptom when we suspect a cancer patient having brain metastasis? So one of the symptoms is raised intracranial pressure symptoms like headache, nausea, and vomiting, and have focal neurological deficit like compression, which caused by the compression of parenchyma by mass, alright, and also compression of the cranial nerve. So we have a focal neurological deficit. And then patients, 50% of the cases we have seizure. So usually when the clinics at the hospital, general hospital, we find a lot of patients which have brain mets that having seizure, and then also the metastasis changes. This is also happening, and the symptom of transient ischemic or stroke. Okay, so the by occlusion of the vessel by the tumor or the tumoral bleed, so which cause the stroke in patient. So what's next in the imaging that we want to see? By the CT scan appear as a non-complicated mass, often arise at the grey or white junction. Profound white matter edema, profound white matter edema, the fingers of edema that reach deep into the brain from the tumor, and that is by Chambers rule. Metastasis usually enhance and differentiate enhance that we can see a range enhancing. This is the most common sign, okay, of the brain metastasis, range enhancing lesion. Alright. So next, we can see for the picture for the brain, brain CT brain, there is a lesion here. Okay, look like a ring lesion there. Alright. Okay, so we can see around here, and MRI is more sensitive than CT brain. So when we suspect, usually we do the CT plane first, okay, and then we see and and then we can focus on more specific by proceed with the MRI. If the patient is we calculate a calculative investigation. So if this patient benefit by doing MRI, we proceed by doing MRI. like process for tumor at the cerebellum and brainstem. Yeah, they're able to detect multiple metastases up to 20% in the patient with single metastasis on CT brain. So, okay, like this, you can see a lot of lesion at the cerebellum. So, what is the metastatic workup in suspected brain metastasis? So, when a patient in wards that we suspect that having brain metastasis, a cancer patient, so we need to do investigation first, the common investigation. First by imaging, CT scan, CT-TAP is the best. And then we can do the bone scan and mammogram, PSA and PET scan. This is all to eliminate all the other metastasis to the all the primary source of the brain metastasis. So usually we do the CT brain plane first, and then usually in the investigation we already done the CT TAP for staging. So cancer of unknown primary site, if all the metastatic workup is negative, the pathology of a metastatic brain lesion may determine the specific of the primary. Okay, like small cell carcinoma, most likely for the lung, and adenocarcinoma most likely for the lung and GI, colon and breast adenocarcinoma. Okay. So for the lung cancer, the most common source of cerebral metastasis is lung cancer patient. Okay, you can see a lot of patients that have lung cancer to have brain metastasis and symptoms of neurological symptoms. Usually multiple of metastasis. Okay, the most common one is small cell lung carcinoma, SCLC, and non-small cell lung carcinoma. Okay, small cell lung carcinoma is also known as old cell carcinoma. Is a neuroendocrine tumor. 90% arise in the proximal airways, usually in the mainstem or lobar bronchi. Typically, younger people or younger person, 27 to 66 years old range of age, then other lung to have lung cancer, and certainly associated with the particular habit, which is cigarette smoking. That's why in the presenting or in the history taking, smoking is one of the most important history that we need to ask patient. And for non-small cell lung carcinoma, adenocarcinoma is the most common non-small cell lung carcinoma. Okay, lung cells, squamous cell, bronchialveolar. So this is the lung mets. We can see about two here, lesion there. Okay, this is old cell in the squamous cell lung carcinoma. So the management mostly if this brain metastasis is arise from the lung carcinoma, usually if the lung cancer is unresectable, when patient have brain metastasis, mostly we have palliative treatment for the patient. Okay, it's not at the end, because palliative treatment is one of the treatments, and also depend on the prognostic of the patient by confirmed diagnosis with by usually we do the biopsy. Okay, the targeted biopsy using the image guided. So this is the radiation therapy oncology group analysis classification for patient with the brain metastasis for 1,200 patients with more than one brain mets undergoing the therapy. So median survival is 7 years, 7 months. Sorry. Okay. Modern age less than 65. Absent premature brain, the only site of metastasis is more longer. if the medicine will reduce if the skill performance skill score is less than 70. That is Karnoff skill performance test scale. Okay, 0 to 100, and it graded by increasing of 10. Okay, every time 10. So able to carry normal activity, unable to work, or unable to care for self. So it's like AD classification. So for the medical management for the brain metastasis, usually one of the most common is seizure. Seizure is one of the most common. Usually we will start the anticonvulsant and we will follow up in the clinics. Usually, like Keppra, we start in Keppra, like 500 mg/bd. Okay, but for the posterior for solution, usually not needed Keppra. And other than that is corticosteroid to reduce the peritumoral edema. Okay, but usually is not permanent, just temporary relief. Alright, the temporary dose after 48 hours, like dexamethasone. Okay, temporary 2 to 4. Then we start the SAR 10, and then followed by 6 to 3 days, and then 4, and then temperature 2, so on. And also we give the proton pump inhibitor. Why? Because when we give that SAR, we need to have H2 antagonist, PPI. That is the most important thing when you start corticosteroid to reduce the edema. You need to have tapering dose after 48 hours, and also you need to have H2 antagonist. Alright. Chemotherapy. Most of chemotherapy agent does not cross the brain barrier, creating the CNS, so the creating a safe haven for some tumor, like especially metastasis. Okay, so chemotherapy sometimes unable to or is not effective against brain metastasis. Chemotherapy, one of the function of chemotherapy, if you want to shrink, okay, they shrink the metastasis. Uh, Metastasis tumor, but brain usually have brain barrier chamber, brain barrier, which sometimes the most of the chemotherapy they cannot cross. Okay, some can cross, however they are specific to target a certain tumor. Okay, radiotherapy usually dose is 30 gray in time fraction given over 2 weeks. For brain radiation therapy is usually recommended following the keratomy for metastatic brain tumor. Okay, 50 gray are needed to achieve more than 90% of control micrometastasis. Alright, so the user dose is 30 gray in time fraction over 2 weeks. So this is the dose sensitivity of the brain tumor, like the most radiosensitive, the least radiosensitive. So the most radiosensitive, like small cell lung CA, germ cell tumor, lymphoma, leukemia, multiple myeloma. The moderate sensitive is like breast carcinoma. The moderately resistant, like colon CA, and small cell lung carcinoma, and highly resistant like thyroid, renal cell, melanoma, sarcoma, and adenocarcinoma. So what is the stereotactic radiosurgery? Is a very sophisticated 3D computerized imaging to precisely focus photon beams or the photon beams or the rays, delivering a highly concentrated dose of the radiation to a precise target in single session. So inconsistent in its ability to reduce the tumor size. Alright, so the stereotactic surgery does not obtain tissue for histology analysis, but the lab is generally cannot be used for radiation more than 3 cm. Alright, so surgical resection. For surgical resection, like surgical lesion, need to have primary disease question. Okay. The lesion is accessible, lesion is symptomatic or life-threatening, and the primary tumor known to be relatively radio-resistant. Excision is rarely indicated for untreated brain metastasis. Excision usually is rare. Okay. For the untreated brain metastasis, for the squamous cell lung carcinoma, because of its radio sensitivity. Okay. For recurrent squamous cell lung carcinoma, for the radiotherapy, diagnosis is unknown. If the diagnosis is unknown, alternative consider biopsy. So we need surgical resection. Multiple lesion, multiple metastases are usually treated with the radiotherapy without surgery. Okay, there's no point to do surgery with the multiple lesions. Okay. Indication: one particular accessible lesion is clearly symptomatic or life-threatening. Okay, life-threatening lesion including the posterior fossa and last temporal lobe lesion. This is a palliative treatment to reduce the symptom or threat for that particular lesion. And multiple lesion that can all be completely removed. It can, if only a complete excision is possible, there is no improvement in survival with surgery. And there is no diagnosis that no identifiable primary, so we can consider cytostatic biopsy to determine what's the type of the cancer. Cytostatic biopsy lesion that not appropriate for surgery include cases with no definite diagnosis, deep lesions, multiple small lesions. So we need cytostatic biopsy. A patient not candidate for surgical resection, like poor medical condition, poor neurological condition, active or widespread systemic disease. To ascertain to confirming the diagnosis, that when another diagnosis is possible, like no other site of metastasis, no interval between primary cancer and detection of the brain metastasis, especially if no surgical treatment modalities are planned, right? We need to know the diagnosis. This is the table. So the outcome, median survival, even with the best treatment in some study, is only like about 6 months. Alright. By the time that the logic findings develop, median survival among the untreated patient is about 1 month. Alright. So using steroid alone to control the edema double the survival around 2 months. That's why most of the patient with brain metastasis, we give dexamethasone, temporary dose, and PPI. Okay, so with radiotherapy and steroid, we increase survival for 3 to 6 months. Okay, surgery and radiotherapy. So the recurrence of the tumor was significantly less frequent and more delayed with the use of the post-operative radiotherapy. And the length of survival was unchanged with supplemental use of radiotherapy, but the additional loss of the cognitive function in many cases and patients are rarely independent after the radiotherapy, right? So that's it for the brain metastasis. I hope we have this rapid revision, although that you cannot grasp very detailed, but you have some understanding. If you are handling the clinic, especially you handle the clinic at the general hospital, you doing the clinic at the general hospital, managing or handling the neurosurgery patient, especially the cancer patient. Alright. Usually we need to understand what is the brain metastasis, and what is the symptoms, and how to manage and treatment. And we also doing the reference to the center, so we need to know about it a little bit, so that we can work efficiently at the general hospital or any primary center. So I hope this little presentation or discussion can benefit us all. Okay, so I want to share some words about our way to the like in the our working environments. All right, so that I hope we do not we have a good teamwork. Okay, good teamwork. uh this this is the only this is the only thing that we can battle against the tumor. All right, against the cancer. Okay, it's a teamwork job. It's not let alone not only the surgeon, not only the medical officer or house officer. It's a teamwork comprising of both all. Okay, so this is quite difficult area, which it is there, but sometimes we we want to deny it, right? So I hope uh, by this sharing can help us to understand better cancer patients, and also have to give them facilities or assistance as much as we can. That is also the main principle for the palliative treatment. It's not palliative treatment is not the end. It's one of the treatment. It's the modality of treatment. So it's not when we say it's palliative, it's the end for the patient. No, we still give the treatment. A lot of aspects so that patient at least can have a good quality of life uh, to fight against the cancer. Alright, so I need to sleep. It's 4 a.m. So I need to sleep now. Okay, good night. Enjoy the day.